Hello and welcome to AZ in the Circle, Arizona Softball Podcast. We are here with Lily Russo from Hamilton High School, committed to Colorado State University, actually signed just recently. You just graduated from high school maybe 2 days ago or something from Hamilton?
Yes, about a week ago.
About a week ago.
Yes.
Okay, great. And we're getting ready for your last summer of club ball with Arizona Rising 18U GNR. Super excited to have you on the show. Thank you. I'm so excited we're able to get you on the show before we all break for the summer.
For sure.
And for all those out there watching, I wish you the best. Have a great summer, kick some butt, and I'm looking forward to sharing some more success stories when we get back in the fall. Okay, we got 4 questions for you.
Okay.
What do you love most about softball? Tell us about your new club team, Arizona Rising 18U GNR. You guys got together in the fall. You just had practice this morning because I know you're getting ready to go to Zoom in the June, and then Colorado, and then PGF Championship, all that kind of good stuff. We'll hear from our sponsor. Then we want to come back and hear your recruiting journey. That'd be great. And then, hey, knowing what you know now, what would you tell your younger Lily about college?
Okay.
And then lastly, hey, what do you think have been your keys to success at this young of an age? You're successful, so people want to hear, what are your keys to success?
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Ready?
Yes,
All
I
right,
am.
Let's go. What's the one thing or things that you love most about softball?
I would say my favorite thing about softball is probably the competitiveness. I've had a blast, not only in school ball, but in club ball as well. Challenging myself, challenging my teammates. Over the years, you grow so much as a player, you grow so much as a team. Kind of seeing that development and being able to work with that and not only challenge ourselves, but challenge, our competitors. I've also had a great time meeting new people through softball. I've met so many great friends, great coaches, great mentors. I have coaches who I had when I was 10 years old and I'm still really close with to this day, whether they're still coaching or not. I've met some of my best friends through softball, especially on my club team now. I'm very close with a lot of the girls, and I've had a great time with them. So,
great.
Yes.
It's awesome. And then you joined Arizona Rising 18U GNR in the fall.
Yes.
And you guys had an awesome fall.
Yes.
In December, January, you had a couple tournaments there.
Mm-hmm.
What have you liked best so far about your new team? Well, you guys have been together now.
Yes.
2 seasons. I mean, not 2 seasons, but a fall and a spring.
Yes.
Well, fall and almost summer now.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like best about them? Can you tell us a little bit about some of the teammates?
Yes. We have a fantastic coaching staff. Eli Guinness and Brent Rincon and Paul Brisky have done a great job as just helping us develop as athletes and people. Eli's been a great help to a lot of us girls, so has Brent. They challenge us a lot on the field, and they're there for us, in our best moments and our hardest moments. I've had a great time with the girls. I've met some girls that I've recently met, Brooke Zualaga, Emma Reynolds. A lot of our girls that I've recently met, Alexa Yarger, our whole entire team has just been amazing and very welcoming. Some girls that I've played with in the past, Brooklyn Bassett, Amira Lennon, and Milani Ocampo. It's been really great to play with them again. I played with Amira when I was probably 7 years old, 7 years old. We played on our first rec team together. I played with Milani a few years back on a 16U club team, or maybe about 2 years back. And it's been really good to come back with these players and see how we've changed over time. I've gotten really close with a lot of the girls. Brooke Zualaga, I see constantly. We work out together a lot, and she has been so much fun. She is such a great player. I didn't know what to expect when I met her, or when I'd first heard that she had joined our team, because I never played her before anything. I'd heard she was a great ball player, a great person, but she surprised me a lot as a person. She's so much fun. And Milani is such a kind girl. I love her. I've gotten close with Sion Noli, which is great because she's a lot of fun too. And I love all of our girls on our team. They're just all amazing, and I couldn't ask for a better group of girls.
It was good to finally get back together. I think you guys, your second practice today,
Yes.
right? To get back together a weekend before you go to Zoom in the June. Was that kind of fun today?
That was a lot of fun. It was good seeing some faces that I don't see a lot. A lot of our girls, We have one girl who plays, Kaden Apodaca. She plays out of state. She wasn't at practice today. We have a lot of Tucson girls, though, so you don't really get to see them a lot during season. You play some girls. We play Sion during season. We played Milani. But, it's really nice to regroup and kind of get to talk about our school ball experiences. We all had great years. And then kind of get back together and have some fun. So it was great today.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Good. We're going to take a quick break, hear from Brig over there at Polaris PT. He says his tagline is movement is medicine. And he's putting a lot of student athletes back on the field after suffering some adversity. So thanks, Brig, and thanks for supporting the show all season long. This is our second to last show, so episode 22 of the season 2. So thank you, Brig.
At Polaris PT and Wellness, we believe that movement is medicine. We believe that as an athlete, you should be performing at the highest level. And so we deliver performance-driven solutions to get you back out onto the field faster. So give us a call at 480-808-4995 or reach out to us through our website, www.polarisptphx.com, where movement is medicine.
And we're back. Thank you, Brig, for helping all student athletes get back onto the field. And remember, movement is medicine. Okay, Lily, congratulations on committing and signing to Colorado State, Coach Jen Fisher's team.
Yes.
Right? You signed about a month ago, committed a couple months, half ago, maybe 2 months ago.
Yes.
Yeah. And then of your senior year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very interested in hearing your recruiting journey, because you did have a successful September 1st. You had some calls. So I think I want to start going into that summer before September 1st.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about, okay, I got to perform, I got to do it? How did you handle that summer? Or did you just say to yourself, I'm just going to play, see what happens? Did you have a plan, intentional plan, or you just what?
So there was definitely some schools that I had my eye on. I kind of made a list about 10 schools, which is actually funny because Colorado State was on my list. But I don't know why. I didn't really reach out much. My club coach at the time was closer with some of the other schools, so I tried to stay, in front of them as much as I could. On the field, I just kind of had the mindset, just play how you do, play how you know you can. Don't worry about who's in the crowd. Everything will work out. September 1st, my junior year, I did get a good amount of calls. I was very pleased. I ended up joining Randy K's club team. He was fantastic. But I kind of wanted to play it out. I wanted to see, don't rush into it. I had some friends who had committed really early, and they're all so excited to go to the schools that they're attending. But I didn't know if I had found the right school yet, so I kind of wanted to wait a little bit. I ended up, unfortunately, dealing with a minor injury during my summer of my junior year, going into my senior year. So I was kind of out here and there. It kept me out for a little bit, but I was back in the fall ball, into the fall ball season. I visited a few schools. I had a great time on my visits, but nothing felt completely right. And I just wanted to find a school that I knew I wanted to call home. So I was actually getting ready to go on a visit to another school when Colorado State, I got an email from Coach Fisher asking me to come out for a camp and an official visit. So
was this like in January, or
this was in January, I believe.
This year,
yeah,
okay.
Right after it was a tournament in California. We played some good competition, and she came out to one of our games, and then requested for me to come out on an official visit and everything. So I ended up going on my visit, and I fell in love with the school. I fell in love with the coaching staff and everything. They were all amazing. It just felt right compared to some of the other schools I visited. The coaches were amazing. Everyone was amazing, but I wanted to find the perfect school, and I think I definitely found that at Colorado State.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
So when you got there, it was beautiful anyway.
Yes. So my visit was during the winter time. So okay. I was there actually during a snowstorm. I didn't know what to expect because coming from Arizona, we don't deal with that, at least from Phoenix. So it was it was definitely different. But
Were you prepared? Did you know it was gonna snow? Because sometimes
I
in
was.
Colorado, I mean, you'll have sunscreen on and shades and shirt, and then next thing you know, you're gonna need a raincoat.
No,
Next thing you know,
I
you
would say
need.
we overpacked.
Okay.
We were very, me and my mom were very prepared. But I loved the snow. The town of Fort Collins is beautiful. And it's not too far from home. You know, it's an hour flight, 45-minute drive from there, and I thought it was perfect. So I'm really excited.
That's good.
Yes.
And so you went there, and did you get that? We've had other people say, well, obviously, your other visits, you didn't get that when you know feeling. But did this start to happen at Colorado State when you got there? Did you start to feel like, wow?
Yes. So I would say at some of the other schools, you know, I really liked it. But you know, maybe some things wouldn't work out. It was maybe too far from home. Some of the schools being more east, a little too far out. I wanted to be, you know, of course, not necessarily in the state of Arizona. I wanted to be on my own. But I didn't want to be too far. I wanted to stay West Coast, or at least maybe a touching state. Some of the other schools maybe just didn't fit necessarily me. I really loved that Fort Collins is kind of, you know, it's 45 minutes from Denver. It's not too far, but it's kind of its own college town, and you know, had everything there I needed. I didn't know what to expect because I had never been there. I wanted my favorite stores and everything was there, so it was perfect. It really felt like home. So
like when you say stores, I heard that I think you're a foodie.
I am.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, okay. So what when you say favorite store, is that a certain restaurant or?
Not necessarily. More like a Trader Joe's, a Whole Foods, a Sprouts.
Okay.
I was a little nervous that maybe, you know, my day today, you know, whether I go run an errand for my mom or something, I was worried that something wasn't gonna be there, and everything was there that I wanted. They also have a Dutch Bros, which is really popular in Arizona. Yeah. And some other stores. So
Coach Fisher did a good job of making sure those stores are there for you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. No.
No.
Okay, good. That's awesome. That's a great story. Now, okay, so you're there, you're visiting, you're loving it. At what point do you tell Coach Fisher, hey, committing? Or how did that?
Yeah.
Can you
so
explain
it's actually
a little bit about that?
Story. So we had went on our visit. I was in a group of a few other girls. They were all super fun. I loved them all, but you know, she kind of told us at the end of our visit, it was set up amazing. They did a great job at, you know, making us feel welcomed and everything. She told us, you know, we'll give you guys a call in a few days, let you guys know, you know, our final decisions. Let us kind of talk about it, figure out what we're gonna do. The week felt like the longest week of my life because I was just so nervous. I was so anxious to hear the answer. I kept telling my parents, you know, if I do get an offer, or you know, something that would work out for my family, I would love to go there. I started to fall in love with the idea of going there. And then I was actually at Disneyland. I had just arrived at Disneyland with two of my best friends, Brooklyn Bassett and Jasmine Ramirez. One going to play softball at Cal Baptist, the other one going to play softball at Utah State. We were in Disneyland. We were in the hotel room, and my coach said that he had emailed her and he heard that, you know, she was possibly going to offer me. Kind of just told me like, hey, she really, really likes you. She's going to offer you. So just kind of be aware, because I was like, have you heard anything? I'm really anxious to know.
This is Coach Eli?
Yes, this is Coach Eli Guinness, which has been fantastic with my recruiting process, helping me through that. I got the text and I immediately showed my friends and they started screaming in the hotel room, and I was like, guys, be quiet, like, and they're like, I don't care, like, we want to tell people, like, we want to know, like, and it was a really great experience. I had the best weekend of my life at Disneyland. We went for a day, and then I came home, got a call, I think on the way home or that night, and then I told her, you know, probably about an hour after she called, offering me, I would love to commit.
And then in between that hour, you know, did you go ride in the car ride at Disney? No, I'm just kidding. Did you call your parents?
I did, and they were really excited. They were out with some friends, and they were super excited to hear. So it was great. Okay. Yes.
Do you like the car ride at Disney?
I do. I'm not a huge roller coaster person,
though. It's the Mater, the cars.
Oh, I did love that one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, except the picture, I'm like ducked over because I get so nauseous on
Okay.
roller coasters or that ride
Right, yeah.
in particular.
All
So
right, that's good.
yes,
So you called your parents and they were thrilled.
they were thrilled. Yeah, they were super excited because they knew how long of a journey it had been for me, and they're a part of it too. They're with me every step, and they knew that it was just kind of a breath of fresh air. Knowing that something could work out. It was really exciting because I know I had a lot of really close times in my recruiting journey where I thought I was really close to committing to a school or making that final step or decision, and it was really nice to know that I had found the right one. So
You told them, and then you called her back, and how was that conversation?
it was really good. She was really excited. We kind of got started right away because I am later in my recruiting process of getting stuff done so I could sign as soon as possible. It was really exciting to see the signing posts on Instagram and everything because it was just kind of, I was realizing it was all coming together. So yeah, that was really exciting. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
for sharing that story.
Yes.
Got me all
I know.
ready to go.
Yes.
Fired up.
Me too.
Okay, all right. So congratulations on being a Ram.
Yes.
Knowing what you know now, what would you tell that younger Lily about the college softball recruiting process?
At times I didn't know if it was going to work out for me. When I had that minor injury, I was kind of a little nervous that, the schools that I was really, getting close with at the time would go in different directions. I think just reminding myself, everything's going to work out. Take your time. Don't feel like you have to make a decision right away because some people do and then they regret it, and some people make that decision right away and they absolutely love it. Some people just know right away, but just take your time. It's not a race. You don't have to commit before someone else does. It's not a competition. At the end of the day, you want to be there for the next 4 years. You don't want to make that decision too fast and think that you regret it. And I think me taking my time showed me, it's not a race. We have time to make that final decision. So yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a good advice, little Lily.
Yeah.
Now and that's kind of wise, everything you said there, about, hey, it's not a race,
Yeah.
make the right decision. So the last question is, what would you say are your keys to success, Lily?
Yes. I think as far as physically, I've had some, I've had a minor step back and everything in the past, with an injury. So I think I've done a really good job at, figuring out a good routine. I work with really great trainers. I work with Keith Wilson up at Pro Advantage and training. And since I've been doing that, my body, has felt so much stronger, so much better, so much healthier. So, I've always worked out, but I think I found a really good routine when it comes to my physical health. Eating right, make sure you're getting the right supplements as far as hydrating, resting, recovering. It's so important. Knowing when it's time to take a small break and everything. After school ball, you have we've had such a long season, just taking a week to just kind of regroup. And then as far as like mentally, I would say I try to stay calm on the mound, stay present in the moment. You don't have forever to play softball. So I try to remind myself, like, take advantage of this moment. Take advantage of the time you do have because, you never know when it's over. So I would say, just taking that time for what it is. That's
awesome.
Yes.
Those are really good, especially at the beginning where you said, how you work out and
Yes.
you hydrate and you get your
so
rest
important.
and you sleep
Rest.
and you get good nutrition.
Yeah, my dad is very strong
Yeah.
on that. So he's been a great, a great mentor in that aspect, showing me, what to do and what not to do. And yeah, for sure.
I read this book, It Takes What It Takes, and there's this
I've heard of that.
Yeah, NBA player in there that he had played super long. And so the rookie came in there, it's like, I want to play that long in the NBA. So he learned by watching the players that played a long time. It's like, oh, yeah, they don't go out to the club and they stay in shape and they eat right and they never
Yes.
eat junk food. And because I guess in the NBA, your second contract or your third contract are the biggest ones. So the young kid learned from the guys that had been there a while. So I got to get my rest. I got to sleep. I got to work out.
So important. Yeah. I used to be big into playing pickleball, and ever since, I committed, and even before that, just knowing, you have to take care of your body. You have to watch what you're doing and just not risking anything. So I've been a lot more cautious of what I'm doing. Like I'm not I love my friends go play pickleball all the time. I love to watch them. I love to, hear about it and everything, but I've been very cautious about what I'm eating, what I'm doing on the side, make sure I'm not doing anything too extra that could, risk, your future or risk what's going on for you right now.
To keep you healthy and strong.
Yeah, yes, for sure.
Yeah. That's what I've learned from seeing that book and seeing the good athletes is.
I've heard of that book. I should read it. Yes.
The gist of it is if you want to be successful, then you have very few choices.
Yeah.
You don't have that much choices at all.
Yeah.
You either got to get rest or you don't get rest.
Yeah.
You got to eat good or not eat good. You got to work out or not work out.
Yeah.
So choices are, if you want to be successful, you got to do this.
It means so much at the end of the day. Like when you're on the field, you're going to feel whether you didn't get that sleep or not, or what you ate before the game. Like it's, it all comes to being prepared in that moment. So for sure.
That's great.
Yes.
I'm glad that our listeners can hear you say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing for mom and dad to say it, but when you get an athlete that's signed and committed saying it, then that makes a deeper impact. So thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's been great having you on the show, Lily. Ball of energy, you're exciting, and I think that's going to serve you well this summer and when you go to Colorado State.
Yes.
Because I think I've seen it happen where pitchers, your energy in the circle affects your defense.
For sure.
They feed off it. They get energized by your energy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great way to. I think it's a great way to say it. So
yeah.
You got some intensity and enthusiasm. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe and like us. I'm Javier with AZ in the Circle, Arizona Softball Podcast.